I know who you are. You can take the sunglasses off. If you don't have them on, you look like you have sunglasses on. We on?
Now we're on.
Okay. All right, good evening, all. Welcome to the town board meeting, March 4th, 2025. Please rise and salute the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilwoman McMahon,
Here.
Councilman Hanlon.
Here.
Councilman Niles.
Here.
Supervisor Molino.
Here. Okay, so first, thing you have to do, I need to go in an executive session, take long. I need a motion to do that, to interview, a prospective employee.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, you guys, just, it's only gonna take 10 minutes, not even, you guys have. Okay, executive session, no decisions were made during executive session.
Make a motion, we close that executive session and go back into our regular meeting.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, the first issuing our regular, gotta open a public hearing on our, local law number one. I don't know. Anybody who will discuss the public hearing?
Karen, could you give us a brief description of what that is?
Yeah, basically, we needed to make a resolution that set when the alternates serve on the board and when they don't. We found that there had not been one. We couldn't find one from the past, so we wanted to make one and to set the number of alternates for both legally set the number of alternates for both the planning board and the zoning board.
Okay, so
On TV?
anybody?
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
No comments, okay.
I'll
Got a
second.
second, okay. That's good.
All in favor?
Aye.
I make a motion, we proceed with that resolution.
Okay,
I'll second.
So you're adopting local law.
right.
This resolution to adopt local law number 1 of 2025 pertaining to planning and zoning board of appeals alternate members. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None carried. Resolution to pay the bills of the 5th abstract of 2025 as presented. General fund vouchers 4590 to 4622, $35,955.19. Highway fund vouchers 4623 to 4641, $26,088.82. SW1 Water District vouchers 4642 to 4643, $61.88. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. Proposed resolution to accept minutes of January 2nd.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. Proposed resolution authorizing the issuance of up to $66,000 serial bond of the town of Lake Luzerne to pay the cost of acquisition of a Ford F-350 truck and related accessory equipment, and authorizing the issuance of up to $66,000 bond anticipation note of the town for the same purpose.
Change.
But
So 66,582, because we just got a undercoating bill.
Do 67 then.
67.
You don't have to borrow that amount, but it at least gives you a little wiggle.
Up to.
67, I just rounded up.
Do we have a
I
motion?
make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none carried.
By the way, that truck's supposed to be here at the end of the month.
Resolution authorizing settlement with Rachel and Christina Hazlett. Whereas a complaint was filed against the town of Lake Luzerne by Rachel and Christina Hazlett seeking a declaratory judgment regarding ownership of Sherman Road, and whereas instead of spending further money to litigate the ownership, the town and the Hazletts have agreed to settle the matter. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board hereby agrees to settle the matter in a form substantially similar to the stipulations of settlement attached hereto. And be it further resolved that the town supervisor, town deputy clerk, and town council are authorized and directed to take such additional actions and execute such documents, including a stipulation of settlement in a form similar to that attached hereto, as is necessary to effectuate the intent of this resolution. And be it further resolved that the sign placed on Sherman Road Extension by the town be removed.
All right, you finished, right?
Yeah.
Just to let you know, there was at least $25,000 in lawyers' fees for this project, and I'd like to have a roll call. not from a attorney.
Or Councilwoman McMahon,
Yes.
Councilman Hanlon,
Yes.
Councilman Niles,
Yes.
Supervisor Molino,
No,
3-1.
it passed.
Proposed resolution to hire Cheryl Murdy to fill the part-time vacancy for office building cleaner at an hourly rate of $16.71.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. Proposed resolution to fund the Lake Luzerne Association 2025 milfoil plan in the amount of $59.50 as presented.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
And I'll just make a comment, that money's coming over the no foil money that we get from the county,
I'll add that to
and I approve, yes, aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. Discussion regarding uniform for highway employees. That's not a resolution, it's just a thing on the agenda.
Right, we all know what one wants to do, and we all got the, what they have to follow and the rules to that. And we did discuss that we will give each employee $595 a year for their uniforms. It's costing us more now from the uniform company. And so I think just if you go. Yes.
It's $5.95 based upon receipts.
Well, I
Yeah.
wanted to do reimbursement by receipt. I don't want to give it to them up front in their check or whatever. I want it by receipt. That way I know what they're buying with the money and everything. So,
And you'll be handling all that.
I'm sorry?
You'll be handling all that?
Yes.
Okay.
It'll take care of the Colin.
Yeah, yep.
And this is also for buildings. and grounds.
Yes, I'm fine.
On record, we need to, Kelly needs to write up a letter and send it to the company 60 days
Yeah.
before, and that's, our due date is October, I think we're done. But, so by sometime this summer, she needs to send a letter out to them.
Yeah, all right. Make sure we take care of that with her.
Yeah.
Because this is, the one we have now is for the rest of this year. This is for next year,
Yeah.
starting on the new budget.
You want to deal with this tonight?
Might as well, that's,
Do-
yes,
You're gonna have to, I think, put an effective date, right? That contract ends in October, I believe.
Is it October?
I think that's what she said yesterday.
Yeah.
Ended in October
It
or it
will
ends?
end.
That's with UniFirst.
Yes.
yeah, we
Yes.
tried to do this a couple of years ago and found out we were in a 7-year contract, so now it's
To
finished.
the end of it.
So, it ends in October, so you can have November and December. What we'll do, I think, is just, if they want to start submitting some bills, so they have equipment for November and December, and then this will move over in the budget to next year.
Rated.
And we could do a prorated, something like that, yeah. Well, if that, yeah,
Okay, so at a prorated rate for November and December.
So in September, they're gonna start turning in all the clothes and everything.
right.
Yeah, I thought we were doing like a cap of 595 per year,
Yes.
and it'll be October to October, or the end of October, so November 1st to October 31st. So we don't need to prorate anything from,
Okay, and that's okay for budgeting? I
Yeah.
don't know, I'm just.
Yeah,
asking.
that'll be all right.
that should be
Okay.
fine.
So no proration.
Is there any chance we can get out of that contract sooner?
I think you might be penalized. if
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah, we've been trying to get it out for, we had it for 7 years, we never realized it was fun.
So October to October.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, just one other thing. Are you designating where they can purchase, like what stores? They can go anywhere they want, but then they won't have a tax exempt form.
Did you get this?
For both boots,
We're just gonna have to pay
you doing a safety cap, you doing a safety toe in the boot, mandatory, or
what's that?
safety toe in the boot, OSHA, or you doing anything like for foot gear? You doing any kind of safety cap on the foot, or?
No, it's never been called for, so.
Just such work boots.
Yeah, I know. I just wondering if the safety cap in the work boot. That's all.
You feel it's necessary?
I don't know. They operate heavy equipment, drop heavy things.
All right.
So
to think
I
about.
don't think about that is during winter when our water breaks. Middle of the winter, 0 degree weather.
They do have the composite ones.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do. I mean, this is an idea.
yeah. I'll recommend it.
Okay.
I have a question. Should there be some type of a policy written up that for this, that they should go by? A standard that he can hold them to?
I was gonna make a motion that has to include this.
Yeah, Ron gave us
It's
this.
not real specific.
Oh, okay,
There's a high vis vest on there, right? I thought I saw one.
what's that?
It says all personal protective equipment, work gloves, safety glasses, jeans, work pants.
And I would do it overall, like any safety equipment, OSHA, anything that has to be certified, has to be certified. Any eye gear has to be certified. It can't be just a pair of faddish sunglasses thrown on. It has to be certified.
You know, the pennies that they wear. You gotta be OSHA certified, so I'll supply them earplugs, safety
Yeah, eye
glasses,
protection,
and
yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah, that's important things. That's good with
Well, I
that.
think there-
I'm gonna add the word, OSHA approved after that first line, personal protective equipment.
Mhm.
Is that all right with you?
Yep.
Got it, Lori. You wanna add steel toe or no?
No, composite toe boot, not a steel, his point, you don't want a steel toe.
Cover.
OSHA approved safety toe.
Okay, Ron,
Yep,
under boots,
yep.
hey, Lori.
Yep.
Good. I make a motion that we approve the policy of reimbursing employees $595 per year based upon the guidelines that Lieutenant Roundul has provided us and based upon the end of the existing uniform contract.
My second.
There's one question on, we're doing this for the highway department, but also for buildings and grounds.
Yes, so
And Rick, did you see any of this? Of the listings, or are you gonna have other stipulations that you were gonna be requiring?
Ron talked to me about this and we were talking about it with the guys and they're all for switching to uniforms.
Yeah. yeah, because
Well, you know,
Right.
personal clothing. Because the clothing we get from the company, it's not very good clothing.
Mhm.
yeah, that's
Doesn't hold up well. I like the idea of the composite boots. We all run composites down at the shop.
Okay. Is there any other clothing that your team is gonna need versus what DBW might need?
Probably basically the same pants, shirts, jacket.
And then anything like Ron is supplying,
We supply our guys down there with, work gloves, heavy work gloves, like on sanitation, ones we know that are gonna be safe.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they come in with these wool gloves that don't protect you.
right?
So we supply them with heavy leather gloves for the sanitation. And also, what else do we supply? Earplugs, same thing.
Okay,
Work gloves, pants, jackets are all on here.
yeah. And the other thing that, just
I'm
in case you
good.
don't know, during the summer, the town picks up, we get T-shirts. 2 per employee,
Mhm.
buildings and grounds and DPW, that comes out of the town fund.
I'm good.
All right,
Thank
you all set on that one?
Very good.
Thanks, Ron.
Okay, Ron,
Yep, we didn't vote on it.
no, we gotta vote on it now.
All in favor?
Uh,
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried.
And the only thing that's not on your agenda right now, because it was my fault, I forgot to tell Lori today when she was writing this up. We had a meeting with the DEC, some of us, about 2 weeks ago.
The wetlands, the wetlands.
No, it was more about working with them, trying to help alleviate the traffic jams and the problems. So one of the things that they wanted us to do, and I think we should do it, and they'll come and help us place them, but we have to buy them, is no parking signs. And the idea of that, not that we're gonna block people from parking, but to stagger it, like put 3 in a row, but nothing across the street, and on the other side of the street, put another 3 in a row. This way you don't have 2 cars parking parallel to each other.
Whereabouts is this?
River Road,
That's my understanding, the actual locations haven't been determined yet.
yeah. DEC is gonna come down and determine where they want it. And then with the meeting was Kevin Garrity from Warrensburg, and his road superintendent was there. And they'll take care of their other stuff into Buttermilk and around that circle.
Are we talking about the parking signs where the input takeouts and put into our, at the end of Thomas Road?
Yes.
Yeah, and we're gonna have, what is it, a stop sign down there too, right there?
I think it's more by the monument. They want everyone parked on the right side. They want to try and get everyone on one side.
Yeah, they mentioned that before. That was a big concern. They wanted them all on one side instead of,
But we kind of agreed to some, instead of all of everybody being in a row, if you could put a 3 here and then cross the street and do 3 more there and then leave that, so there's always a break.
I think they were proposing that we get together.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna, but we'll use a resolution that we're gonna buy.
the parking sign is on River Road. Let's just do it. I mean, it's a dirt road. I mean, we're thinking about it too much. I'm just saying, we're thinking about way too much.
No, we're gonna put a lot of parking sign, but we're gonna keep them so there's nobody, 2 people not together. That's the idea of keeping the space. So,
Space mode.
and they'll be here to show us.
I'm not DOT. And the thing is, for part, Ron's gonna have to do anything that has to do with the road and signs
Right.
is gonna have to do with him.
Yeah.
All thing we're gonna do is go, wow, it looks nice. I know no business about road signs. It's pretty, okay.
Right, but this is a resolution to
It
that we-
goes where the.
do the parking signs.
Very.
Where we put them.
You know what I mean? I'm just, it's, the problems are
Right, so
manifest. in
Just so
there.
you understand, this is to do the parking signs. When we get them, then we'll go over with DEC where they gotta go. All right, so I get a motion for that?
Make a motion.
Second,
All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Hearing none carried.
All right, moving on, Ron, highway,
Clothing, that is done. I would like to replace the Chevy pickup that we had to hand down the road because it's running out and everything. The money from the DEC is been paid and everything, so. And months before I wanted to replace that Chevy with this money, so.
is this I'm sorry, Ron, is this the original one we were talking about? At the garage, you guys wanted to replace it for parts running around?
Yes, the Chevy hat ton. So. That money's been deposited. And I just want a vehicle that's off state contract. No bidding now or anything like that, nothing spectacular, just an F-250, which is, would be plot prep ready. So. I could get a motion for that, that would be great.
all right, Ron, just so I can, we're gonna use the 50,000 that you got from the state when you did the work there to buy this truck. You're not taking it out of your,
Like, no, it's the money from the state.
well, you know, I mean, I spoke to you on it, I don't agree with it because that money by employees and gas and everything else, it should be back into the budget.
Yeah, we earned that.
We learned that. This money should come out of the unexpended balance.
How much did it cost to do the work that we got the money for?
We'll build 50,000.
How much did it cost to do
No,
the?
you got a different number?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on a minute. Said no,
You know, do you have a truck in mind that you're interested in?
No, I talked to the guy in Greenwich there and he said if doesn't have one or can't find one, we can have one built, but I'd rather not, so
How much?
45.
That a 8-foot box, standard cab,
Yeah, yeah,
four-wheel drive,
yeah.
half ton,
F-250,
that's 3/4.
it doesn't need to be anything spectacular, you know. I just want to replace this vehicle. I don't think that we should take it out of my fund balance. This money was there and I wanted to dedicate it for it, so.
Yeah, but your employees worked for it and we paid it through the budget. You should pull it back to the budget.
That work or work at a different road. It doesn't matter.
I'm not gonna argue with you, whatever the board wants to
know.
approve.
That's just my opinion.
Personally, as far as I'm concerned, is the budget levels should come out of your surplus fund right now. Because you're paying, that money was paying back your budget, what you spent from your budget on that job. But could do it either way. I'm not gonna debate. It's up to the board. You understand what I'm saying? It's the employees worked on it. They got paid for that money. We're returning it to his budget,
That's why I brought that up.
you know.
So,
Do you need to
so we're,
office tonight?
Why can't we?
Because I'm not getting an answer to my question. So I got the same question Gene has.
All right, well, let me throw another question out for you. Can that money that Ron has be put into that other account that you want replenished?
No, I'm saying it should come out of his unexpended balance for his budget.
And where will that money go into?
That money, yes, will go back into that budget, unexpended balance, but it should be done that way, not just,
so either way it's getting done.
It's all gonna be.
it's getting
it's
done,
gonna-
but it's gotta be
you're gonna
done.
show the
Right,
paper trail.
right.
Is that a problem to put that
No.
money into that account? Just
No,
don't-
that's all you had to say. You wanted to do the paper trail. That's fine.
That's all I'm.
Whatever way is appropriate that he.
Yeah, I just don't feel it's appropriate to use that money because you normally got paid to do the work and gas and whatever the case may be, should go back in your regular budget.
But it doesn't matter if we're up there doing that work or on a different road doing that work.
You know, you're both are right.
Right.
in your-
By the hour.
in your thinkings,
Mhm.
but now when Gene's coming from a budget side, you need a paper trail for everything. You're coming from, I know where you're coming from, okay? But the bottom line is the same money is gonna be used anyway.
Yes, money's gonna be used one way or the other.
But it has to be
If you-
specified in case you have your books audited, why and
Put it
when. and
into
where.
You put it into that account, it's going to satisfy all the problems you've had right now.
Any suggestions, Mary? You think it's right? Are we doing it the right way? Put it that way.
Don't look at me.
Showing a paper trail is always a better
Mhm.
way for
Yeah,
everything.
a paper trail is definitely better.
Paper trail is always good.
I agree, yeah.
When we're audited, that's all they keep asking.
Money.
That's exactly
The
right.
documents for this, Paperwork for this, so yeah, it kinda,
Mhm.
Yep.
it makes.
You take the truck out of your unexpended balance for this year, and that money goes back in that same account. But because you paying back what you paid all the employees through your budget. So it's gotta show that.
So you're gonna take it
Yeah.
from unexpended balance.
That's
Right.
If we do it, Gene, the correct way. Do we have the money?
The money's already deposited, you said, right?
Yeah, the money's here already.
Yeah, he's already has it in his budget anyways. So it's
And the money to earn,
6 half-dozen
the
others.
cost to earn that money obviously is long gone because it was paid out
Yeah.
as we did the work.
And that's gonna be one less line that Colleen's gotta worry about during every record.
Do we want to head with this?
I would like to move ahead with that.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, everybody, Ron, everything's okay?
Yeah. Yep.
Look at the truck.
5? So
Okay.
we need a
Need
motion.
a motion.
Up to 45,000.
Yep,
I'll make that motion.
Now second,
Up to 45.
Up to 45.
We might have to add tax on that. Well, we don't
No,
pay
we don't.
tax, but
Went round to 50, just in case.
I'm just worried that it might be a
Difference.
little different.
all right, so why don't we do 50, because you might get on the code like we had just now with this trucks.
Mhm.
So Jim made the motion.
Yeah.
Andy second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried.
I just got one more thing.
Not money.
No. Gene, the Legion. Can we have that surveyed so I know where our boundaries are? I guess some lady fell one night. And she went back in the Legion and asked who owns the parking lot. And there was a big deal about it. I don't think anything's gonna come about it, but. Can we have a survey so I know my boundaries? Because we've always plowed that whole thing, plowed it over by the Legion and everything. Liability, I should plow in, plow out, whatever the town owns. Is that something the town board?
We can have,
recommend I do?
we could have a survey. I thought that was the whole. That was,
I don't know if it is. Cause that business gotta own some kind of parking, you know?
Or it's just morphed over the years. It's just kind of, I don't know, one of those.
And,
Cause it is a road, it goes right down to Swanson's place, right?
yeah, it should be 20 feet wide, straight down.
Yeah. right on top
Is
of
it?
it.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
So it's great.
I'm
Is there concern? Do you want me to keep plowing the whole thing or?
found 20 years I've been with some, like,
Yeah.
that we take care of.
You know, I'm just concerned, is there liability? We plow someone's parking lot, but we don't do good enough if someone falls and breaks their arm.
Karen, can I ask you? Do you have anything?
have anything, if it's a road,
It's a road we recently purchased, isn't it?
No. But the region?
Yeah.
say separate tax parcel. Melissa might have something, but if it is just one of these paper streets or road by use, we're not gonna have anything that has any meets and bounds or.
Let me check with Melissa tomorrow and see what she's got there.
It's just a concern for me, that's all.
Let's see what we get now and then we'll see what we have and then,
Get a price.
yeah. See what it looks like first, what you're dealing with.
Do the same thing at the, don't you do the same thing at the bank?
Thing.
That road going is-
Yeah.
is
Yeah, I think it's half the bank and
half the bank and half the part of the house next to this round out, but we got to get in there.
we got these Onyx apps on our phone that show boundary lines on property and all that.
Mhm.
And it just shows the strip that goes down the middle, that's the town, so that's why I'm questioning, yeah. And it shows that right side is all the Legions.
Parking area.
I mean, I can look on the GIS system tomorrow too.
Yeah,
We can-
so,
All
yeah,
right. All right, got it, Ron, let's move on.
Chips list at 40 feet, this, that helps all. On your chips list at 40 feet wide.
All right, we'll check it out.
if I have it on my chips list, to be honest with you,
It is.
so I'll have to check.
You look at New York State,
Yeah, I got the list and everything.
All right, Karen,
So we're just holding off on that.
Yeah, we're gonna hold off.
Yeah, I'm done.
all right, Karen,
Okay, I distributed my report to you today by email. If you've had any questions, you can let me know. Also, I think Lori put in your mail, in your packet tonight, an email and a form that I had gotten from Brandon Ferguson, who is the developer's engineer for the Luzerne Woods subdivision. And he has submitted paperwork to New York State Department of Health under the realty laws that they have to go through them for some approvals. And I'm just giving this to you to let you know that we're gonna be working on this. It's nothing that has to be done tonight necessarily. But eventually they're going to be coming to the town board and asking the town board to take over the roads that are involved in this subdivision if it gets approved. It has not yet been approved by the planning board. And possibly the stormwater, the water mains, they also need to, in the letter, state the town, that the town has the capacity and the willingness to provide the water in that area. And they need some information on the peak hour demand flow from the town to fill in on the form. I have sent this form on to the town engineer to look at and to evaluate and to check for the accuracy. And again, my purpose in giving it to you tonight is that this is going to be coming up in conversation, and I just want you to be aware that it's coming to you eventually at some point. We don't have to do anything with this today. That's all I have.
All right, then we'll have time to make a discussion on it.
Yeah, I've talked to Ronnie. I've sent it on to the town engineer, and again, if the planning board approves this preliminary plat, eventually they will be asking the town to take over the road, the stormwater, the water mains. You do not have to. You can take over, part of it and not all of it, but it will be up for discussion at some point.
This is
We have-
after that's built, correct? 'Cause right now, the roads are not built.
That can be one of the conditions that it would, I know that Ron has been very vocal that he does not want to take over anything until it's complete. And
Yeah.
there's provisions about bonds and stuff like that. And again, it hasn't been approved yet by the planning board. But if it does get approved, then this will be coming to you.
All right, so we'll have some time to discuss it.
Thank you.
I assume peak hour demand flow, he's talking about water,
Water,
okay, and if we have to. Give them a number, and we have to hire somebody to figure out that number, I assume.
I don't
pay for
know.
that.
What do you think, Ron?
Jeff down there might have had something on file, but I'm not sure, so.
Yeah, we'll check on him.
We'll have to ask Clay or Logan to look and see if there's. I don't know if he writes it down every time there's high volume.
They do, we keep track of it.
Are we talking about the entire system or
Yeah.
just a main on the street?
Oh, I think the entire
It
system.
has to be a entire system, because there's no way to check just one area.
Well,
Why would they need to know the entire system?
It's something that needs to be provided on this form to Department of Health. I don't know. I don't know that much about it.
Well, it's gotta be, there is a formula, I don't know off the top of my head, where we say we'll have a house. If they have 3 kids, it's X amount of gallons, if they have 2, X amount of gallons, if they have 2 people,
Well, this is the water usage.
we don't go by that, especially most of it, we go by meter, whatever they use.
Well, somebody's gonna have to look and see what record it is. They're looking for 2023 year. Peak hour demand flow from 2023.
I think that they can look at
I
it,
think,
'cause
yeah.
it's a dial thing that.
There's a record of how much we use a day.
It's right down at
Yeah,
the
I
water
think there is.
center down there.
I'm gonna give this form to Ron and he can look into it.
And the new guy in there, he's pretty good, he can probably help you out a lot.
Yeah.
How's it working out? Pretty good.
Very
We'll
good,
get
very good. Yeah. No headaches, no problems, everything.
They're right
we have
happy,
done.
all our worker bees are happy.
All the worker bees are back.
Good.
All the work with these are back.
That's all I have.
All right, Karen, thank you. Councilwoman McMahon?
Have we heard anything else on the solar? Any
But I have that in my report.
Okay, I'll leave that for you.
I was gonna ask if you guys thought about it at all.
Yes, I thought about it.
All right, so let's wait to get
I'll wait.
to my part then.
Okay, that's all I was going to report on.
That's it. All right, thank you. Councilman.
Nothing to report.
Councilman. Miles,
Picked up another $1,200 or so on the playground fundraising. Still gotta get about 30 more.
31,000.
Yeah. Going along pretty well.
Is that playground you said?
Yeah,
What's your goal?
about 210 or
We
215.
need 31. We need 31 to get there.
Yeah, 30, 31 more. And we have some stuff pending. It's significant.
Jim, did Colleen, tell you today that we got $1,000?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
part of the 11 or 12. I
Okay.
just,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. I'm done.
Good done. All right,
What?
deputy clerk.
Okay. So we closed on the highway truck bond today, this morning with Mary and Mr. Hafner. I provided our monthly report. It's significantly higher for February due to the fact that we receive franchise fees. We get those like 3 times a year. So our report for those months is always way higher. We received notice of order from New York State on the speed reductions. It's 40 miles per hour on Thomas Road, 35 miles per hour on Howe Road, and 35 on River Road. So I have those notice of order, so Ron can put the signs up. And I'm not sure yet, it came like this, there's no instructions other than to sign this. So we're gonna call Department of Transportation tomorrow and see exactly who has to sign it, because it doesn't say. If it's Ron or Jean,
Nothing on
So-
Highland.
nothing on Highland.
That might be, that was only about 4 or 5 months ago.
Oh, it wasn't part of that package.
No, that's,
No,
that
it's
package,
that list of several roads.
Is that 35 for all of River Road or from Schofield up?
Let me see, hold on 1 second, you're talking. I'm not really sure how these read. Okay, 35 miles per hour on River Road, a town road between the limit of 30 miles per hour speed limit northerly to the end of pavement, distance of 3.8 miles. So I have all this, and I should probably make you a copy as well.
Yes.
Thomas Road is 1.6 miles from River Road to Old Stage. And Howe Road is between Lake Tour and North Woods Roads, 3.7 miles.
They didn't change Lake Shore?
Not in this, no.
Okay.
it takes about, not quite a year, but around a year to
I
get them
think we
back.
submitted for 5 roads in that
Yeah.
request, and we've got these 3 so far.
Yeah, DOT changed in the initial one, Lake Shore also. That's what I think.
Okay,
right.
no, not in this package, we
Okay.
didn't.
And that doesn't include the dirt section of River Road.
Unimproved, no, this
Right.
still falls in the category.
Physical characteristics on unpaved highways in themselves control operating speeds.
Country boys gonna be country boys, there you go.
And
Alright.
the last thing I
Some rock
had,
spinning, Bob.
I wanted to give the attorney a chance. Go ahead, finish up, I'm sorry.
Tucker has been gracious enough to cover for us a couple times in a pinch for Zoom. And I just thought maybe you would want to put a resolution on the books to appoint him as a backup Zoom coordinator and get the stipend that Chase would get if he were here.
Absolutely.
I'll make that
Oh,
motion.
wait, hold.
Yeah,
Instead of putting in, put an assistant, you know, in case it's not Tucker or somebody else. And we have it covered, you understand? what I'm
Download,
saying?
yeah, covered.
Our Zoom operator.
That's what I meant.
Okay,
Yep.
that's what you meant?
Shoot, look.
Okay, so that's what we'll do, and I think we'll have one that we're gonna give you for back pay for a couple of weeks ago, you helped out. Thought that was
That
one-
he stayed late and Chase couldn't be here, so.
So that's the way, I'd rather do instead of a name.
Yep, absolutely.
You gotta.
That's better.
came out with an assistant.
That way from here forward, you can.
Yeah, that way if neither one of them can make it, we might.
Have a second.
get some.
Yeah, got a second.
We're good, Andy, second.
So
Okay.
Jim and you,
Andy,
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, hearing none carried. That's, oh. One more thing.
One more.
One more, no more.
We put correspondence in your packets, and I think I also emailed this to you. Pam Moran is no longer going to be doing the pug parade. She has Sheena Smith, who I think has been actually helping her a lot.
I talked to her.
She suggested.
So it's no big thing, because we don't put who's doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
We just have to know who's gonna be in our park.
Just wanted you to know that Pam's no longer going to be doing
I
it.
haven't seen Pam around at all. How's she doing?
She's doing okay. She's
She
in and
comes,
out.
she
yeah.
comes here a couple hours
Uh-huh.
every other day.
I think she'll probably be in the background, kind of guiding
Yeah,
her
she
for a
will.
few years, I'm guessing.
The weather is tough with the ice and stuff. She doesn't go out. She doesn't take a chance of falling.
Oh, I have.
All right. Mr. Attorney? Nothing? Oh, gee, Lizzie.
just the normal glares.
All right, now it's down to me. I just got a couple of small things here. I just received applications from Warren County. They're putting out the to help people fix or repair or replace septic systems. On the table over there is about 5 or 6 I printed out. It's an application you fill out to the county, and it says for repairs of septic systems. So anybody knows anybody that, I think we had a lady today called. And I think not Karen, yeah. I'm really. We didn't do it, but
Might have been.
Cindy did. I gave it to her, and I think she sent it to the lady. Let it go through there, but it's for repairing septic system. There's some on the counter that I put there.
So I forgot to mention was that apartment repair thing.
Sorry, let me finish this before I lose my place here.
You had your turn.
I forgot to-
Okay, here, everybody got, my board got a copy of all the CDs we put into the bank, we put in.
Do we have that?
You
Are
have
the
that.
interest rates on those or not?
So it's 4%, we put them in the blank for the national. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 CDs spread out from 2 months to 9 months.
And they're all at 4?
What's that?
They're all at
All at
4%?
4%. All right, and what you asked before, I got down here that any board members think any more about the report we got 2 weeks ago from that company that wants to give us 5% off of electric bills, or we still should wait and make sure we talk about it more. That was at I thought I had it here, but I must have left it on my desk. That was that gentleman who came in, give us 5% off of the electric bills.
And
Of the town property.
right. But that was the application that the town would have to fill out.
Right.
But we were also talking about putting it on our website, the application that every homeowner is also allowed to apply for to get 5% off theirs.
But I wanted to make sure everybody thought about it a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You ready to go with it? We can
I
just,
really don't know enough about it. I mean,
all right, all right. We don't have to right now today. We can get you up on it. That's right, you weren't here last month.
Yeah.
It's a gentleman came in from I thought I had it, I got it on my desk, solar something.
Is it, okay, is it the same? Okay, I've seen this before. Is it the same one that where they come that all they want is your meter?
No.
It's the power.
No, they aren't building.
It's
it.
not like it's not a,
It's not
No,
like-
it's,
It's just a 5%, you go through them. and
yes,
you
so
go-
it is like this
and you get
organization.
5% of
Yes.
the bill. They-
Yes.
They get it.
That's what I mean,
reduced.
but they want your meter. They take over your meter. I forget the name of the company. My cousin did it.
It's called, it was Solar on Earth.
Solar on Earth.
Yeah, and I think I've seen this.
it's through
Top
that
plan
national
before.
grid.
Okay.
It's not another,
No, it's through National Grid.
It's not a
I mean,
private
you want to
company.
hold off and have
National
them
Grid is
come
a
back
private
again,
company,
and
but yeah,
you want to have them.
it
come
doesn't
back
cost
again?
you anything.
yeah.
And it's just gonna give you a 5%.
What's in it for them though?
They
That's
get
fine.
something in through National Grid, not us. It's not.
Nothing to do with-
We asked them that question.
Mhm.
I mean, I can have them come back and talk to us one more
Well,
time.
he was
and-
gonna give you the application that we were able to put the link on our website,
Hmm.
so anyone, I mean, get it out there. I mean, I'll say 5%. I mean, that got a pretty high bill, I'm saying.
All
But I'm
right.
sure everyone would want to save 5% off their NIMO. bill.
Yeah, but I don't know if he
That's
was talking about everybody. I thought he was just talking town property.
Everybody-
Everybody- okay.
everyone. It doesn't cost you a dime. It's just a link. You put your
Right.
information and it's done.
But anybody.
No credit card,
Anybody can do it, whether the town does it. or not.
correct? Whether the town does it or not, but it's something that at least we can offer to the citizens.
Why don't we get him back here one more time? Make sure he brings those forms that we need to give out to everybody. But the only gave us the,
He said he was gonna give you his business card.
oh, the business card I got,
And
yeah.
through his business card, he can send the link and we could add it onto our website.
All right. And if everybody's in agreement, we'll call them and tell them, let's move on it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
We'll take care of that tomorrow. Okay. Now we're gonna adjourn soon. I gotta open to the public yet.
I forgot one thing.
Bring it up as we.
We're part of it. Grant
Oh, yeah.
from. I forgot about it, so I'm not really prepared. We're part of a grant, it's City of Glens Falls. Town of Lake Luzerne, Queensbury and Lake George, right?
Yeah.
And the grant is a little over $1 million. And the purpose of the grant is to get dilapidated apartments back online. So people can rent them. The grant is for up to $50,000 per apartment. But one of the curveballs is the apartment has to be vacant. And you can get
Good luck with that.
up to 50 grand to rehab the apartment.
It's on our website.
Yeah, it's on the website. They define the renovations, they have to be substantial. They aren't talking about repainting in a couple of the kitchen cabinets. And the curveball, as I said, was the apartment has to be vacant. It's very short term, the money's got to be spent this year. There is another curveball, and that is you have to agree to a certain rental. For 10 years.
There it is, right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we have any.
I didn't say, I don't think we were gonna get involved as a town. That's why I put it on the website. And up there's a telephone number to call this organization out of Glens Falls. And if anybody wants any questions from that,
City of Glens Falls handling the whole
handling the
thing,
whole thing.
okay?
And we don't have
I
that.
couldn't think of any apartments in town where that's the case, because they're all rented
Yeah, well, it's Glens Falls, Queensbury, us
in Lake George.
and Lake George.
Yeah.
And we really don't have, we were the least amount of people, like Glens Falls, is they got buildings, brownstones, like they can get rehab. Queensbury has them, Glens, and even Lake George. We don't have any apartment houses that I know. I mean, we have a
It's more
couple.
geared for something like you're saying, like
What's that?
apartment house. It's more geared for an apartment house
Houses,
complex.
Not just
Right,
one
but
person.
But they're gonna show preference to smaller ones. They don't want, 50 units.
What about our hotels that are year-round rented? And
It's an apartment and it's vacant right now.
they're able
It's a
to.
two-page application. It's real easy to do the application. It's not gonna, the town doesn't review the application, so there's no risk. If we have somebody in town that wants to apply for it, do it. There's no risk. So I'm just announcing it.
Yeah.
Well, it's on the website. I put the thing on the website, let the people call them.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Anything open to the public? Yes.
Thank you.
Something we talked about before, I just wanted to touch base, just wanted to ask you guys where you're at with it.
Do you have one spare, an extra one?
Yep.
I'll give it to Dane when he comes back.
Doing just the top page that I wanted to talk
Thank you.
about. Well, ones below it are kind of what other people are doing, like other towns, and the state, but the top page is one page out of your subdivision regs. We've talked about it before. I just wanted to touch base with you guys because I know I think you put together like a committee to talk about possibly changing some parts of your subdivision at one point in time. Karen would know more about that. But I just wanted to touch base because it's something we've definitely talked about before, lowering the paved width requirement in your subdivision regs. I just wanted to ask you guys if you had talked about that anymore. I kind of put in yellow, it's 10 spots, but when I look at this, again, this is just my thinking, that's where it could be changed in the easiest fashion to me, if you were to change stuff. And I put the numbers that are like basically the DOT type numbers, just to put numbers in there. But like, if you guys were to change it, those were the spots I thought you would change it. And I just wanted to see if you guys had talked any more about this, like we've been talking about it for like a year. Supposedly you put together a committee to talk about it. And I just wanted to touch base. That first page again is yours.
We haven't talked about it in the board.
Like it is the town board that would change the subdivision.
We haven't
regs.
talked about it in the board at all. Hasn't come to us at all to talk about.
Okay,
Nothing's come to us to discuss. It has to come to us or, so
okay.
nothing's been brought to
Brian,
us.
what's this a page of?
So this, let me double check though. I'll tell you in a second.
I
It would be you guys that would have to vote to change it though, right?
Okay,
That's what I'm asking.
Karen,
but
Karen,
so what's your,
don't the planning and zoning to get involved in this, don't prefer each and everything?
This page, to your answer, the top page, I believe is out of my subdivision, out of our subdivision regulation book. The top page is.
So any change.
Any changes, yeah, it would have to be done by a local law, any changes to that, but we had discussed this when Brent's father, Tom Reed, had his subdivision, his first subdivision in front of the planning board, and he withdrew that application, so we stopped talking about it at that point. And because we knew that we were going to be trying to get the grant, we did get the grant to work on the zoning ordinance and subdivision ordinance, zoning map. That it has not been finalized yet. We know that we're getting it, but we haven't got all the signed paperwork and everything back from the town. Yes, there is a committee that has been formed. No, the committee has not ever met yet. And this was going to be brought up again when we worked on changing all of those regulations. If we have enough money to include it in all of what we need to do.
The committee you're referring to is the committee to work on the whole process
Correct.
of updating our zoning, which is money that we're gonna get from Department of State, maybe. I had correspondence with them just a few days ago. We expect that contract for that money to be signed. They said within a month, I'll say 2 months. We don't have a contract yet for the grant.
But the way that it
That
works,
grant requires us to set up a committee to administer the grant money. So we haven't met yet because we only have a contract with the state yet to do the work.
Okay, but to
But
make,
they will be making recommendations to the town board of any changes that they've come up with, along with whoever the consultant is that we hire,
Right.
because we will be hiring a consultant.
The one thing that they being the state. And it's either DASNY or Department of State the grant is from, don't quote me, I don't remember. But one thing that they did suggest that we could do, even though we don't have the contract. Was to put together the request for proposal that will be sent out once we get a contract to get the contractor to do the work. So we've done as much as we could do, which is set up that committee and do the RFP.
I guess that was my question, like, for something like this, like if your committee had come up with suggestion, and Ron would have to be in the conversation too, obviously. Just to kind of, it seems like you guys would come up with the numbers yourselves that.
Actually, I think we're gonna get the town engineer involved in it for recommendation as well.
Do you really need a grant to make
Well,
this
it's part,
small of a decision?
we're doing the whole zoning thing, so it's part of that.
It's a process.
Yeah,
We're doing the whole board.
I would agree, all right, okay, that's kind of what I was asking, but it seems like it might be more feasible if you just. Didn't have to do the whole thing at once, because like you talk about for like 10 years doing something like this, and it doesn't get done, whereas if you picked off. Little pieces one at a time, it seems like you wouldn't need a grant and you could just pick a number, if you thought the number wasn't correct. That's part of it, like you would, I don't, like, you think 28 feet. Is too wide for a minimum pavement.
That's what it is now. That's what I'm taking. And your suggestion is 18 feet.
That's what the state has for like a minimum type of requirement on these roads. Like if you look at New York State DOT guidelines,
Mm.
that's why I put that there. I'm not even trying to say what I think at this point. I'm trying,
Okay. Because that's quite a drop from 28 feet to 18 feet.
Right, and like the papers underneath that. That I've given you is like what other towns are doing. So that's what some other towns are doing around here, like Lake George is in there, Warrensburg is in there, just for like reference points.
If we didn't have the. Overall project to redo the zoning for the whole town coming up, I would agree with you that we should fight this off and deal with it. But should be integrated with that plan. Now
Okay,
it's gonna take time, unfortunately.
all right, I just wanted to share it.
Karen,
What I
can you
shared.
make sure that this. Gets to
I'll put it in my
the
folder.
engineer that we hire someday in the committee at some point.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Anybody else? Howard, anything?
Done?
I think we're done. Well, we have to have an executive session on, employee. Groups like that. You need a motion? Want to tell us what we need to do that?
Yes.
The person.
The personnel.
She go into executive session to discuss an employee issue. We will have no further, we will not make any decisions afterwards. We'll have no further business after the executive session.
Right.
Nice second.
I have a
Second.
question. Dean,
What's that?
you asked me about if it was all right for you to do a resolution. In regard to the first executive session, are you doing that or not? So we adjourn.
Good point.
I had it written down here. I don't know my paper.
She's talking about hiring.
Yeah, we got it. We don't have to do that in executive session, do we?
No, but your executive session.
Okay, I withdraw
with you,
my,
and then.
I withdraw my motion to go into executive session.
So we'll
So I make a motion that we hire,
Right, that's what, I didn't do that.
I forgot his name,
Zach Caldwell,
part-time.
right,
To
start with 90
Days.
90 days, that's part-time. And then we up to Rick to evaluate him and get back to us, because he's looking for full-time also, so that was the kid here we were talking about. All right, so yeah, I'm
What,
$10 an hour, Colleen.
No,
16.
18.
Yeah, what?
Minimum wage. Boy, what year are we in here?
I'm sorry, $18 an hour.
Have a mutiny on your hands?
Okay, so Jen,
Rick's over there turning 8 shades of gray.
Second.
Hey, long day.
Aye.
Aye.
opposed, hearing none carried.
All right, thank you. Lori, yeah,
We need a motion.
No, I make the motion to an executive session for all the reasons I've stated previously.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I try to write. it.
None carried. Okay,
I
we're
forgot
good.
to. Lori.
This was first up here.
Oh, you did what?